capture. I've not tried a screen capture before, so hang on. Okay, so you'll be seeing on the screen, hopefully, that I have Word pulled up. So actually what I end up doing, and I usually end up creating, let's see, booktube, reading list challenges, 2026, and reading goals. Okay, so I've got them kind of set up for the next few months. I guess it's now next couple months. I'm gonna pull up the one for this month, and like I would have had previously, and let me grab my planner. I don't know how much of that captured. I'm gonna assume that none of what I just said captured. Okay, so I'm not sure, like I said, how much captured or how much didn't. I have pulled up on my screen the planner page as I build it, and it changes a bit each month. Reaching down, grabbing my planner, because I don't know if it showed or not. So I'm going to actually pull out one of the pages I'm going to have to redo, because at the time, you see these are the pages. A lot of times I'll only paste them a couple at a time, and I'll only print out about a week's worth at a time, because I update the page as I go. If circumstances change, like I finish a book, I want to be able to print out the most recent form of the checklist. So like yesterday, I finished Appointment with Death. And and that was for Read Christie 2026, an Instagram challenge I'm taking part in. Now, because I'm finished with Appointment with Death, I no longer need the Read Christie line in there. So I can save that space, either put a new book there or just have a shorter checklist, which can be convenient when I'm pasting. But as you can see, I'm also tracking the Read Christie here. But I did finish Appointment with Death for this month. Don't fall. And therefore, I need to print more of these pages. I only have a few left that I haven't used yet, so I'm just going to update that. I also have my current March Mystery Madness book. I have a blank space for it, but I think that I might actually just, and you should be seeing this on the screen capture, I think I might just actually update what I have here. Let me move my knitting so I can access the book that I'm currently reading for March Mystery Madness. Not that one. There it is. Okay. I'm doing the wheel spins. So on screen you should be seeing that I'm going to actually just use this one here, Death on the Cherwell. I'm determined to read Death on the Cherwell this month, because that looks good. I meant to read it last month, but with Holmes on the Range, not Holmes on the Range, Holmes is Where the Heart Is, I didn't get around to it. So we're going to type in, or I'm going to type in the wheel spins. Now I do tend to like to move this down. I could continue writing it in for March Mystery Madness, but I want to save that spot for if I've already pasted pages in and I start a new book, like if I start Blood on the Tracks or something. But I'm hoping, because the wheel spins, it's described as being connected to like trains and stuff. I'm going to use this for the March, what is it called, like the railway or railroad readathon. I'll try to link, the proper information in the description of the video. But I'm kind of gonna have the wheel spins for that, and people might know the wheel spins better from its movie adaptation, Alfred Hitchcock's The Lady Vanishes, But The Wheel Spins is the actual name of the original book, and it's by Ethelina White. So I've got The Wheel Spins added in, where I originally had a slot for Read Christie 2026. So I have space that I leave for other books that I might end up adding that I don't expect. I don't anticipate when I add books that I'm going to be reading all of these, you know, a given day. I just like to have the ability to check off any of them. Like, I've been really bad. I need to do better keeping up with Augustine. Oh, good heavens, I really need to do better with the Liturgy Hours in the East of the West and the Forensic Inquiry of the Crucifixion of Jesus. But Gentleman in Moscow was not an intended read. That was something Mom wheedled me into starting because she's reading it. Death in Cherwell, like I said, I've been meaning to start that. I haven't gotten around to it. Dragon Fairy Tales is a new book that I started. As is, I believe, Pax Romana. I think I've only been reading that for a few days. Okay. Yes, Ariane, I have 1812 here, but I think both you and I have been very distracted with our other books. Mea culpa. Okay, so looking at the screen, you can probably see other, you know, all the different colors on here. And I'm going to, again, show the page that I'm going to be changing when I print it out. I have purple for the top, which that tends to be, like, I have some information about my Lenten resolutions. And I've got just some religious activities that I like to make sure I do, just sort of check them off. Then I have, you know, the red tends to be like important have to do. So like things like physical activity, hygiene, balanced finances, blah, blah, blah. And I know it sounds weird to have to check off hygiene, but when you live a weird schedule due to chronic illness, sometimes you need that little check off to remind yourself, like, oh yeah, it was during this day that I need to do X, Y, Z, because my days kind of blend together weirdly. Then, so that's a red. The blue is, I consider it like my creative stuff. So that's booktube, pen, hook, and needle. So did I record? Did I edit? Did I post? Responses, because I'm absolutely horrible at responding to people. I've actually had to make a section where I can check off that I've responded to people, because I am the worst communicator when it comes to like anything semi-long distance. I also have where I can check off that I worked on the planner or on the book journal. If I got any crafting done. And then I have art writing, rosary making, card making. Like I've mentioned, I don't get all of these things done in a day. I don't intend to get all these things done in a day. But it's just a way, it gives me the ability to check off things and to make myself happy. I enjoy checking off things. I don't even need to check off everything on the list when I know I never intended that to occur. But just having something to check off is a bit of a motivator for me for getting stuff done. And so I'm going to go ahead. I'll probably, let me make sure there's nothing else I want to change on here. So I removed the Read Christie. I'm going to keep Death on the Cherwell there. I have the Dragon Fairy Tales there. Pax Romana, The Wheel Spins, Gentleman in Moscow. Where is the... Oh, there it is. The Prince of Medicine, the book on Galen. Okay, so I think I have everything there that I want. I'm going to print out about a week's worth. I don't even expect necessarily to finish... let me actually let me print out 5 days worth, because I can't imagine it would take me a whole week to finish The Wheel Spins. I read mysteries pretty quickly. So let me print out. Oh, and when I finish a book, you'll see where I will, let's choose one where I actually, you'll see where I will cross it off in the area, just so that way it's a reminder to myself, oh yeah, I finished it at a different day. So I'm going to go ahead and print out 5 of those. I think I'm going to stop the screen share at this point. Stop sharing. And, oh, did I not record any of that? That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to, guys. Okay, let me go ahead and try to fix that, and I will then go and get that off the printer. Okay, so I've changed locations because I need the space to be able to cut my pages that I printed out. Print out slightly more than I realized I was going to, because I had to redo the screen capture and I forgot that I had printed these out. But here are the ones that I'm going to be cutting and prepping for the journal. But I'm not going to be doing it by hand. I use this little slide cutter thing. So I'm going to try to position the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing, which might actually entail me starting a different video and splicing it in, simply because I don't think it'll let me turn the video around and keep this same recording going. So hold on a sec. Okay, it's probably about the best view of the cutter that you're gonna get. Gonna zoom back out again. Or maybe it's gonna let me partially zoom. Oh, that's better. That's good. Now you can see the whole cutter. Okay. So I'm gonna grab a few of the pages. I don't like to do more than 3 or 4 at a time. I've got 3 here. That's all I'm gonna do at this second. I'll probably cut more off screen. Make sure that they're even. And generally just try to find one line. I'm actually going to turn this around a little bit. I don't know how that's going to show up on screen, but it's easier for me to see this way. Okay. Usually a bit of guesswork. Ooh, almost nailed it. Cut off the bottom part, a little bit of other book, but that's not insurmountable. Sometimes that first cut can be a bit challenging, getting it the exact way I want, but I think that that one's pretty well lined up. And I'm not sure if you can see on here. If you're not familiar with this tool, this got a nice little knife on there. It's kind of rulers sections that I can kind of measure up. I don't always get it exactly where I want it to be, but that one I nailed. And then this last one here. Usually the farther I get, the easier it gets to get right where I want it to be. It's that first cut that's always the hardest to line up the way I want. Okay. So there you can see that. Let me come out of it more again. All right, there you go. So you see that. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. Okay, so there's our cut pages. I am going to be taking some of my pens here. I have one for each color that I need. I only wanted 4 colors because that's what comes most easily in a pack, so I don't have to keep picking up like huge packs of pens. Alrighty. I'm trying to do this while looking through the camera, which is interesting. So I'm not necessarily going as quick as I normally would, simply because you don't need to necessarily watch me do circles on all of these. So I'm going to you know, change colors really quick so you can see, yes, I do, in fact, use the different colors for each section. I'm going to pause this, finish all the circles for this here, and then pick a stamp for this page, glue it in place. So at this point, going to pick the stamp that's going to be going in here, because I went ahead and for the page we're going to be working on, I went ahead and filled in all our check mark hole things. Circles, that's what that's called. So, got those ready to go. Let me just pick my stamp. I already kind of have an idea of what I want. So I forgot I had ink in this here. Didn't need to grab the one from my desk after all. So here's my ink. And here's my backing thing. So this is gonna also determine the size of stamp I can use because I don't have all my backing things here and I didn't feel like grabbing them all. So let's see. I want to grab the one that says Literary Podcast. So I want this one here. So I want to use this stamp here. What else do I want? Maybe, do I have a mystery one here? I think I'll go with this one as well, the mystery one. And maybe I'll grab a reading cat. Yeah, I think I might grab one of my reading cats. But I think I want the most comfy looking of the reading cats. Maybe that one. I know I've used him fairly recently, but he kind of matches my mood. So, okay. Now that I kind of have an idea of what I want there, let's go ahead and get that started. So, let me grab the backing that I need. And I think I want to make sure I definitely place my literary podcast one first, because that's one I definitely want in there. So I probably should put on one of the ones I just finished, but this probably won't be going up until tomorrow anyway, so I think I'll put this one here. Yeah. So put that one there. Maybe space them out a little bit. There we go. And I think then I like to set it up ahead of time so I have an idea what space I have available. So I think maybe mystery here. And my happily reading cat, I think, should be right there. Or maybe actually mystery here and happily reading cat. Oh, that's better. I think I like that better. Okay. And still with a little space to put a cover there if I happen to finish something. Which I could. I mean, I could easily finish, like, a mystery. So, like, I could easily finish The Wheel Spins if I'm, you know, proactive about it. Move this here out of my way. Okay, so let's see. Let's do the one closest to me first, shall we? Good, he fits nicely. Almost got ink in my hands. I mean, I probably will still end up getting ink on my hands, but I usually like to make sure this is pretty well covered. Pretty close to where I want it to be. Yeah, he looks pretty well covered to me. And then I usually end up like painting or coloring in with colored pencil or something like that. I haven't decided yet what I'll end up doing. And I probably won't be doing that on camera because heaven knows if I decide to watercolor pencil it, I'm not juggling the camera and watercolor pencils. That is a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. Yay! My stamps turn out so much better now that I am not doing it in the journal and like I'm doing it before I paste it. It's working out so much better for me now. Okay. All right, that's where I want it to be. Okay, so next I think this is still going to be the right size for this one. I don't think any of the others. Yeah, because this one's still too small, so it's going to be this one again. Let me just clean off. Oh, I used the other side last time. Okay. So where did I put my ink? Oh, there it is. Okay. And I generally use craft ink. Almost where I want it. Yeah. Let me take some of the excess off the edges here. Just don't want to risk it getting on the page. Okay. And let's see. I think right there looks nice. Voila. Okay. Yeah. All right, let me put that one away. I try to put them away as I go so I don't wonder where in the world those belong. And that I don't lose them, particularly these little plastic ones. They're so easy to lose if you aren't paying attention. Oh, that's completely off base. Okay, that's better. Barely. I still have it a little bit off. Okay. And now the final one. I think I can actually use this one here for it. I try to have the grid not against the stamp, but it probably doesn't make any difference because there's like a light gridded side here. Not really quite sure why they have that, but yeah, ink on my hands. I don't even feel like I need to ink it half as much now that I'm not trying to make sure that I'm working at an angle on the journal itself. It does mean that sometimes I get caught by surprise if I didn't intend to like record. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have space necessarily for that stamp now. You know, there's a lot less ability to be, inspired in the moment this way. But I do like so much more having to have stamps that actually show up. So it's worth a little bit less spontaneity. Voila. Okay, there we go. That's what I want. I will color that in later. Oh, before I close, I generally use this glue. I guess it's Zig 2-way. Let me move some of this stuff. Alrighty. I have to take out things like my bookmark and this here, so that way. Oh yeah, this keeps it attached to my book. It's got a magnet. So I always have a pen with my planner. Okay. So I am going to, I think, pause. Okay. Just going to do this one side. And, oh, also I take from my black one a smaller glue for when I need to touch up. This one can get rather messy when it's full. Let me make sure this is, yeah, this is one I already have primed. Because these don't start off primed. They are my preferred scrapbooking glue, but they don't start off primed. Let me find one that's not primed. Oops, no, that's been primed. This one shouldn't be primed. Yeah, see, they start off white, and then you just sort of like keep pressing on the page, like in a kind of pumping motion, until the blue shows up, and that's your glue. Okay, so kind of like that, actually. Now I could use my glue mat here, but what I end up doing is I know approximately where my planner page is going to end up, so I just have my overlap in that area. I'm not doing the whole page at page I'm going to place at one time, because once the glue is no longer blue on the back, it doesn't stay as well. So it's just easier for me to glue apart as I go. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to place, so it's going to end about there on the page. Okay. I went down a little bit more than I realized I did. Okay. And I know I'm going to have to, like you can see some gapping here. Where'd my glue cap go? So I'm going to fill in that with this here, because I know I had the gapping there. And it's not fully had a chance to set yet anyway. All right, let's see. Any other gapping I need to worry? Ah, here we go. Ooh, that got torn a little bit. That's okay. We'll take care of that. Probably when I lifted up the other side. That's fine. Not a problem. There. Don't have anything else there. So what you're going to see that I left some more about that. Some of that was from the glue on my hands. So what I'm going to do is grab from my pencil case. This is kind of my tip for when I have a still sticky page. Make sure my eraser's out. Okay. Because this is actually probably still sticky. Yep. Let's take care of that problem. I find that this actually kind of takes care of excess glue pretty well. Just a simple eraser. Because initially I was getting those, you can get like they're supposed to take care of they come like in scrapbooking stuff. It looks like a little rubber kind of eraser type thing. And I was like, why am I spending extra to get something like an eraser when I could just use an eraser to pencil I already have? So that's what I do. Whenever I have any excess with the glue, I take care of it with an eraser. Let's see. Oh, it looks like I have some here. Because I don't like it when my pages stick. Sometimes I still do get page stick, but that would happen even if I had a regular, thing that's supposed to remove glue. This actually has been a very effective, thing for me, is just using a regular eraser. Actually, it also serves sometimes to help press down on edges that haven't firmly set yet, because you're pushing down on it when you're erasing. So even though I don't necessarily need to do it for this entire side. I'm going to do it a little bit more than I have to, because then it's going to hopefully set some of this area that maybe hasn't had a chance to set really well. Alrighty, I do have anywhere else, so let's leave a little bit there. I think that might be it. I think just feeling around for any sticky. Oh, that feels a little sticky still. Okay, no stickiness here anymore. Just gonna, one more time though, run my eraser along that just in case, but I don't really feel any sticky there anymore. A little bit here, let's go ahead and take care of a little bit that didn't get picked up there, because it is on an edge, so it's a little bit harder to pick up there. Okay. So that's, you know, all. Let me go ahead and flip the camera around. So that's our finished page that we worked on together. Ariane, I hope that you enjoyed that. And anyone else who might be seeing this, didn't necessarily, you know, maybe you didn't plan on seeing a planner building video. But yeah, this is per Ariane's request. Hope that you enjoyed that putting together. Maybe someone even got, you know, a tip that worked for you. But that's how I put together the planners. Some of those things that I do for my planner, my, you know, planner checklist, I use also for when I do the book journal, like the trick for the eraser for taking care of any excess glue. I'm constantly using that. There's the reason, besides for any note taking, that I might not want to have stay visible in books forever. I like to have a pencil in my carry along bag, if only for the glue. Because I also carry, I thought I carried glue in here too. Okay, no, I carry cutter pen in here. I carry whiteout, but I don't carry glue. Probably should start carrying glue as well. Maybe one of these smaller ones, just for any spot checks. Yeah, that one's in pretty good shape. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of my, if I need something random on the spot, it's all in here. I probably don't need the Blistex anymore since I've moved to the Vaseline. There, that makes a better room for the glue. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope that you enjoyed it. Have a very blessed day, and I will see you the next time. God bless. Bye.